My brothers and sisters, what is good, everybody? Still Sermon in the house. Friday afternoon with another video for you guys. And another Pens video. Two Pens videos this week, man. Didn't think I'd be doing that. But last night's win prompted me to come on here and talk about it. As always, do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. Links are posted in the box below. 6-1, Pens get the job done over the LA Kings last night. We are 3-0-1 on the year, 7 points. We are currently sitting on top of the Metro. And this Pens team, man, is just off to a blazing hot start, and you love to see it. You know, obviously it's very early into the year. Obviously there's still a lot more games to go. But I'm telling you, as a fan of the team, it's just so great to see this team just clicking on all cylinders, considering that we have the oldest team in the league, all right? And we're getting it done both, you expected us to get done on offense, all right? We know this team can score goals. But we're getting it done on defense and the goaltending too, man. You know, it's just great to see. I haven't seen a top six line like this. I haven't seen a top six line like this probably since 2017. That's how effective that these lines have been for the Pens so far, man. And, you take a look at stuff like the Sid line and the Gino line. We know we're going to get those every single game. But both lines have been as equally as effective. And it's not like, we're playing, bottom feeders in a league. When we're outscoring our opponents 18-5 at home this year, 6 goals in all 3 home games this year, and we're beating teams like the Tampa Bay Lightning, who've been to the last 3 Stanley Cups, and an LA Kings team who's hungry to make a playoff run, and they dominate us in shots early on. That's how you know that it's a sign of good things to come for the Pens this year, man. It looked like LA was gonna, dominate the entire game last night because they were being more aggressive. They were getting shots in. They were skating past us. But then someone named Tristan Jarry happened. And Tristan Jarry has been nothing short of phenomenal at home this year. Almost every single one of them shots that LA took made a great play on it. And I especially have to give a big shout out to the second line. It seems like Ruda has found a niche here. He got a great goal last night off an assist of Jason Zucker. But the thing that I like the most about it is that when Evgeny Malkin and Brian Rust are leading the attack and they're skating circles around everyone and they're showing their speed and they're being aggressive on the ice, it's a thing of beauty, man. Malkin is a little bit criticized here because people think that he's not aggressive enough. When he's an alternate captain for a reason. When he leads the attack like that with Brian Rust, who I think can play with anybody, it's a great thing to see. And my question right now, and it's a really good problem to have, where do you put Raquel from now on? Does he stay on the first line? Or do you maybe put him on the Gino line where he can play equally as well with him too? Because Raquel just seems to play with everybody. We know Brian Rust can play well with everybody as well. He plays especially great with Malkin, which is why he's on his line. But where do you put Raquel from here on out? I think that you could probably keep him on the first line and then platoon him on over to the second line when it's time for a shift. This team plays with so much reliability, and they have great action from the wingers. And like I said, that is something that I have not seen from this franchise in at least 5 years. It's just great to see. They play as a team. They believe in one another. They're aggressive. And they're tough, too. Because when Brendan Lemieux absolutely just goons Jake Gensel last night, hopefully Jake's okay. I mean, the Pens are flying on over to Western Canada soon. So I think that you got to give Jake some resting time so he can get healthy and he can be himself. But when this team is being so unselfish and they're taking penalties at appropriate times, Mike Sullivan has this team in check. And that's why he's one of the top coaches in the league. If you're going to take a penalty like that, and if you're going to take, unnecessary penalties, do it when you're up 6-0. Not when you're tied at 1 or it's 2-1 late in the game and the team can come back on a storm. Do it when you're up by 6 on your opponent. Good teams find ways to bounce back and they find ways to capitalize. This team had a very tough loss to Montreal on Monday night where they were dominated in shots and they were being outskated and they weren't showing aggression. And they bounced back today, or last night rather, and they take out the Kings. That's something that I mentioned in my my video that I posted about the Pens the other day, where I said this team doesn't play very well for Casey DeSmith, and maybe it's just an adjustment issue. And I think my point stands to reason after looking at this game. This team plays so much better when Tristan Jarry's in net. And they just have so much more fluidity, and they just have so much more continuity with their play style when Tristan Jarry's in there. You can tell they like to play for Jarry more. And at this point, look, I was always, a defender of Matt Murray because he won us back-to-back cups pretty much. But I'm not missing Matt Murray at all so far. He's stinking up the joint in Ottawa so far. I'm not missing him one bit. We got 2 reliable goalies right now in Tristan Jarry and Casey DeSmith. And honestly, Jarry's the better one. And it's not even close. This team, man, just off to a great start. Just off to as good of a start as any Pens fan can hope. Because everyone thought that this team, was going to kind of be like on death's door because it's an old team and, hockey's a young man's game now and, you gotta, we don't know how much longer that, how much longer that the core has to go. But this is just playing like a team, man. We head on over to Columbus tomorrow to take on the Blue Jackets. Then we got a Western Canada road trip, as I said. Keep it up, guys. Calgary ain't no pushover. Edmonton's always great with McDavid. Then you go on over to Vancouver. They could be better if they had goaltending. And then you go to Seattle to play the Kraken. But before that, you go on down to Columbus tomorrow to play the Blue Jackets. And quite frankly, we always beat them guys. The Pens are on fire, man. And I love to see it. Keep up the great work. Let me know what you think down below. Steel Sermon checking on out for the night. May God be with you all. Go Pens, baby.